The now defunct Petronas SRT Yamaha team had a meteoric rise in MotoGP and an equally meteoric fall. They went from being the championship contenders in 2020 to a team that finished second from last in 2021. Valentino Rossi's dismal final season without a single podium played a part in this. Many feel that his successor at the rebranded RNF Yamaha team, Andrea Dovizioso, won't fare much better. Team principal Razlan Razali has responded while speaking to Crash. I'm your host Dillon Shelley, and first up on Moto World, why Dovizioso won't be as bad as Rossi in 2021. Razlan began by pointing out the key difference between Rossi from 21 and Dovi in 22. Of course, some fans or sceptics will compare and say it could be another season like Valentino's, but people forget that we had Valentino when he was 42, Dovi is 35. If you look at where Valentino was when he was 35, he was still at the top, so I think it's a totally different comparison. He pointed out why it is a valid comparison. It's a valid comparison because now he's the oldest guy on the grid, slightly older than Aleix, but Dovi did a lot in his time at Ducati. 3 times runner-up. Before that, he was with Tech 3 on the Yamaha, and the most important thing is that he completed all 5 races last year. In these 5 races, however, Dovi's pace wasn't anything to write home about. Razlan addressed this next. Yes, it was with a bike from 2 years ago, but I think it gives him the feeling, and the competitiveness is back. He signed off by suggesting that Dovi could be one of the championship contenders in 2022. He wasn't pushing, but now, with the same package as the factory guys, I think he can be one of the riders who can fight for the championship. Fast feed. Suzuki's Joan Mir feels that there are 2 points of view. The people who know nothing about racing and the people who follow racing and know the bikes are those who have a different opinion. I listen to these people. In 2020, I was fighting for the title, and sometimes that made it a little difficult to take the risk of getting the win. If I wasn't fighting for the title, I would have certainly won more races. Ducati Corsa sporting director Paolo Ciabatti stated that nobody has any doubts about Jack Miller's talent. He is probably one of the fastest riders, in certain conditions, and is also the best or one of the best when it is wet or partially wet. But sometimes his riding style doesn't help him to save tyres for the second part of the race, and I think this is one of the areas where we need to help him improve. Tech 3 KTM's Remy Gardner accepts that there are a lot of fast riders, a lot of very good brands in MotoGP, and it's going to be tough. But at the same time, this way I will learn things quickly, and they will surely pressure me to get more out of the bike and myself. It's a story, a new project, and you have to work to enjoy it. Retired MotoGP World Champion Casey Stoner feels that it's nice to see a couple of Aussie riders up front in Jack Miller and Remy Gardner in MotoGP. Unfortunately, it's been a long time since something like this happened. I can only say that this is what Australia has been waiting for. Retired MotoGP World Champion Jorge Lorenzo suggested that without injuries, Marc Marquez was the strongest, both physically and technically, and also one of those who risks the most. Beating a rider who is physically stronger than you and is also technically superior, who also takes more risks, is very difficult. Risking more than the others, especially in MotoGP, it has its consequences, and he has paid for it in recent years. Will Andrea Dovizioso be able to get better results than Valentino Rossi managed last year? Head over to my community page to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you liked this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of MotoGP.